Carbonites Gaming.
Welcome back, Knights, to another Summoner's War video with myself, TorchHealer. In this video, we've kind of gone over a lot of stuff for beginner players and newer players. We can start looking kind of more into that early mid-game stuff. So I kind of just jumped right into this. So I figured today we would take a look at TOA. And the reason is because a lot of questions that I get are centered around TOA. Everyone wants to know how to get farther, or what team works for what boss. And since they switch every month, it changes. It changes pretty easily. So as you can see, I just kind of casually play hard. I've never completed TOA hard. I've never taken the time to actually put into it. But TOA normal, that's not that bad. So to start off, everybody, I presume, if you're playing the game, you can probably put like a week in and get to TOA 10 or 20 or 30. They're not overly difficult. I'll show you. It's a little bit of a pay-to-win team. So this is my TOA normal team that I run, essentially up to floor 90. Well, I can run it usually to about 99. Sometimes I have to manual one or two of the stages, but I can essentially run it to TOA 99, and then I just switch it up for the boss. So for TOA normal, everyone is overly concerned about that legendary scroll. Now, in my opinion, actually while we're chatting here, I'll do a couple TOA hard runs, and you can see my team there. So, in my opinion, floor 70 is the one you should be focusing on the most, right? So make sure that you can get to floor 70 and clear that, because that Devilmon is a guaranteed skill up for a 5-star. If you have a Nat 5 monster, that Devilmon is a guaranteed Nat 5 skill up, right? So, with that legendary scroll, yeah, you got like a 1 in 12 chance of getting a 5-star Nat 5 monster, but that gives you, an 11 in 12 chance to not get one. So the Devilmon is always what you should be striving to get. If you can clear TOA 100, that's perfect, right? You get the extra legendary scroll, the light dark scroll, and like the 300 crystals for 80, 90, and 100. The 300 crystals. So it is worth it. The same for hard. If you can farm hard, then, or if you can get through hard, then look at doing it and getting into those into at least floor 70, right? So a lot of people are always concerned, what do I need? So this team that I'm using now, so this is TOA hard, this is my dots team. I usually just, if I'm at work, I set this to the side, I'll check on it every couple minutes, it just goes. And then I manual the boss stages from like floor 50 up. And so the idea with this is dots. You can run dots like it's going out of style. There's only certain monsters that it doesn't work on, but if you can control them, so I've got a stun and dots on my Veramos with the HP lead. I have attack power reduction, sleeps, and my Charlotte is on despair, so there's more stuns. Mantura is on despair, plus he has defense break and dots. My homunculus, which if you're looking for TOA, I would recommend the water one, because his third skill amplifies any beneficial effect on the enemy into a dot. So, the idea is that you're controlling them so they don't get a turn. Obviously, they're not on violent runes. The only monster that can get a second turn immediately is the Wind Rakshasa in TOA. So if you can get stuns, attack bar control, and dots, you're essentially set. And this works in TOA normal, this works in TOA hard. You just have to get your speed down. So TOA hard, there's, obviously more HP, more defense on the monsters, but dots do 5% of the enemy's HP per dot. So it doesn't matter how much they have, they're going to lose 5%, which is really, really nice rather than a fixed number. It's the same for TOA normal. If you can run a team, and I'll show you a team that is very common for a lot of people. I know it used to be very, very common in TOA hard for a lot of, the bigger players now before a lot of these newer monsters came out. But I've never used it. I've actually been really lucky, so I have a Hodam, which kind of makes TOA normal a little easier than it needs to be. But I'll show you a team after this run is done. I'll pull out a team that is essentially free to play, right? So Mentura can be a bit difficult to get if you're not having any luck with light dark summons. The Homunculus, you do have to put some time and effort in to get him, but he works, and he's really, really good. He's got attack bar reduction on second skill. He has a freeze on first skill, and he has dots on his third skill. Plus I have him on Despair. So he can stun and freeze on his first skill, and then the chance to stun on every other skill. And that's a big thing. So if you're going to run a dots team, definitely look at a set of Despair runes. All right, so let's take a look at an easier team to get. Right, so Veramos, fusible monster, done. Everybody can get Veramos. Charlotte, not a fusible monster, so we're going to pretend like we didn't see her. But Beretta is also a fusible monster. Done. Right? Mentura, yeah, it's a 3-star light dark. You might have some luck, you might not. But essentially, if you can get a Mentura, it is great. Right? The Homunculus, once again, it is a free-to-play monster. It can be fusible, or however you want to describe it. So, done. And then, obviously, a light dark nat 5 is not easy to get, but we're just looking for somebody that can buff the attack bar. And just, well, not recently, but not overly long ago, they made Vertiheal a fusible monster. So every monster here is fusible, and, there's a lot of, I think, Veramos is on Violent, Beretta's on Despair, I think. Mentura's on Despair, and my Homunculus is on Despair. So, for those of you that are looking and being like, oh, well, it's, you're only on level 43. This is level 43 on TOA hard. And I'm not saying this is a speed team. You're obviously not going to just rip through TOA with this team. This is for, those little newer to TOA, trying to get a little farther, and just needing that extra help in some of those tougher stages, right? So, as you can see in that last round, there was 0 turns by the enemy team, which is great. That's an amazing thing to have, right? So, the less turns they take, the more turns I get to deal damage, right? And it's the same thing here. So, the one water bird took 1 turn, right? Hit a Beretta. My Beretta's built not overly tanky. It's kind of on leftover runes, but it works, right? So you might be saying, yeah, Torch, you've got 4 years in this. I do, but in the same breath, if you're farming giants, which is essentially one of the easier dungeons to get a team for and to run successfully, that's what you're looking for, right? So you're getting all your Despair runes. They're all coming from giants. And you just put that effort in to getting Despair runes or Swift runes. If you're crafting runes, like currently there's still that legendary rune event. And so you can be crafting violent runes, right? It's the same as you're farming giants. You're going to get drops of whatever the materials are to be able to craft runes, right? And so if you're at that point where you're trying to craft runes and you can't really farm dragons B10, well, keep farming giants and craft violent runes. Yeah, it might not be You might not get a bunch of 6-star legendaries right away, but it does give you the chance to get violent runes without having to work overly hard and still farming for your normal despair runes or swift runes or blade runes. It does work very well, right? So once again, I'll show this team. This can be a bit of a pain in the ass with the Chloes. It does suck because I don't have a strip except for the first skill on Mantura. So we'll see how well that works. And the same with these dark cats. You really want to control them because every revenge is not comfortable, right? So it does, once you get rid of them, it's a lot nicer. But the one big things that you're looking at with this team is you need that control, right? If something gets up immunity or it gets up like a invincibility buff, then it can be a bit of a pain in the ass. It's the same with these Lulus, right? So Lulu has a cleanse and a heal, and so you'll probably see it right here. With this, oh, I stunned it. Okay, never mind, you won't see it. But that's the thing is, you can focus them down. You can use other monsters that might have not an oblivion, but a silence, right? So if you're lucky enough to have a Triton has a silence. There's a couple others I can't think of at the moment, but that's if you can get the monsters that you need to do the job that you need to do, then you're looking a lot better, right? So this, oh, never mind. I'll probably get through this then. I was just concerned about that Chloe on the right, and that's the thing. Once you get one cycle down, Mentura's second skill slows. So now you have your own attack bar buff, you have enemy attack bar reduction, and you have a slow. So you're just cycling turns on them, which makes this a lot easier to kind of go through, right? And there's dots, and there's slows, and there's defense breaks, and stuns. It's an easy team to accomplish if you put the time in for it, right? So the homunculus is probably going to be your longest grind on this setup, right? But as you can see, the setup it's a very good team. It can do exactly what you need. It doesn't take forever, but it's not the fastest, but it's effective, right? So for those of you looking at, the normal 1 through 9 stages of TOA, take a look at a dots team with despair runes on it, right? So then your big issue is going to be, your boss stages. So let's pull up a boss stage on normal. Let's go to whatever this one is. Okay, so CR. Which reminds me, I've completed my Transcendence scroll thing, so I have that to summon at the end of the video. I'm hoping there's 3 monsters I'm looking for: a Sierra, a Perna, or a Varad. Obviously a Varad first, because that's been my dream monster for quite a while. But that's just kind of hopeful, I think. So this is the team I would use for like a TOA hard boss stage. It is, once again, control, right? It's control in a different way. So with Jean, who is also a fusible monster, so can be used in any boss stage in my opinion, she has the provoke. So you get that provoke out, and then you can put up her invincibility shield. And she can take as many hits as they want to dish out, and it's not going to hurt her. Unless, of course, they strip it. But at the end of the day, you have, if I got rid of the Rakan and the Charlotte, right? So all 3 monsters here, super easy to get. And there's kind of a bonus to them being light-dark. So they're not weak to anything, but they're not strong to anything. So the way you build them is the way it's going to work out best for you, right? And then, attack bar control. So whether that's attack bar increase for yourself or decrease for the enemy, right? You can also run a bombs team, and you have to be a little bit lucky to get some 4-star drops and some LD 4-star drops, but you can run a bomb team here. Another really good option is Lorne. If the enemy boss doesn't get a chance to hit, the enemy boss doesn't get a chance to deal damage, right? So now you have control. You can't dot the boss on any stage, but but now you can just put essentially any damage dealer in, right? So I don't think Kali would survive that through the normal stages, but you can look through and find like a Theomars, right? So once again, a farmable monster. So you could run this team, and as long as you're controlling with Lorne, that main boss, and you have your accuracy up a bit. Like my speed is low, my accuracy is 60, right? So you're looking for around 65 to 70, I think, is kind of the best range to be. But I also have her on Nemesis, so that she can get extra turns a little quicker. But yeah, so we'll try this. I don't know if I'll auto it. I don't know. We'll see. Well, you know what? Let's try. Let's try autoing it. And you have your heals from the Jean, whatever. So, like I said, this control is all due to the provoke, right? Now, as you can see, this is TOA 90, and there is a lot less damage coming out from the enemies, but there's also a lot more damage coming out from my team, right? So it is described as half, right? So half of the damage or defense or HP of the TOA hard version. But once again, it's all control, right? So you have a defense break, you have 2 heals here, you have 2 defense breaks, 3 defense breaks, you have stuns, you have dots for the main group. And it's all control, right? You only need 1 damage dealer. Once again, it's not going to be the fastest run, but what you're looking for more than speed, especially if you're newer to the game or newer to TOA, is consistency, right? You want to be able to finish that TOA hard run or that TOA normal run in one go, right? So, and I just forgot that Veramos got the buff where every time he cleanses a skill or cleanses a debuff off the team, he heals. So now you have 3 heals on this team, as well as you don't have any damage buffs or attack buffs or anything like that, but you do have attack bar control, right? So now you're controlling the team. If they get a shot off, whatever, right? That's why Theomars isn't a bad idea, because Theomars has that endure at the end. So you're not just going to instantly drop, right? You do have that chance to take that damage and still get 1 more turn out of it. So let's slow this down. I will show you what I'm talking about, right? So I have provoked the entire enemy team, right? See if we can put a defense break and then damage. And I'm not saying always to go for the boss. That's not always the best idea. I do it because I have that kind of confidence in my runes, is essentially the reason. But you can control the side monsters, right? So the Leebly and the Jojo. You can sit here and control them with your provoke, right? And once again, they can hit that Jean, whatever, as many times as they want. And I actually have my Jean on Nemesis. So every time she's getting hits without this prayer of protection, her attack bar is going up. So that means I'm getting more turns and more chances to lay that provoke out. So I don't use my Jean in any other part of the game. I use her specifically, and you can always build more than one. But I use her specifically for TOA. And then if she gets, a heal block, then you cleanse it, and now you keep going, right? So essentially, that's the goal, is to take control and take away turns from the enemy, right? It's not the greatest tip or trick, but it is an effective one. And the reason it's not the great, you can obviously get speed teams. You'll see like, YDCB or Island Grown or Jewbaggle or whomever else. They will run speed teams and they will just clear waves. And they can, there's a guy named Once in Love on Twitch. He's probably on YouTube as well. But he regularly places 5th in the TOA rush, right? Or 2nd, or he's very good. He's got very strong runes. He's also put some money into the game. But it shows that people that are that high up into the game can kind of afford to rush it, right? So for a newer player, beginner player, don't worry about having to clear TOA, right? Don't worry. Don't make it your goal to clear TOA. Make it your goal to get to level 70 so you get that Devilmon. That should be your first goal, right? So look at your rune setups, look at who you can use for bosses. All the monsters I've shown you are farmable or fusible monsters, and they're effective in those aspects of the game, right? So with that being said, let's see if we can get a sacrificial summon here. Might as well get those. As you can see, I'm saving up for Varad week, unless of course I get Varad right now. I did complete it. This is a guaranteed 5-star monster, and I'm really hoping for something I don't have. So wish me some luck. Throw down in the comments if you guys have completed this to get your Transcendent Scroll. What monster did you get? What monster did you want? Right? So here we go. TorchHealer's Transcendent Scroll, and it is a 3rd Camilla. Well, shit. Alright, well that's not what I was hoping for, but I guess I'll get some ancient crystals out of that. A little more disappointing end to the video than I was hoping for, but alas, hopefully this helps some of you guys out with TOA, and in the future, you can keep working towards it, get through TOA, and even maybe get through TOA hard, but consistently once you're through TOA normal, focus on trying to get to level 70 on TOA hard for that Devilmon. 2 Devilmons a month for free, not including the ones you can get out of the shop, is a great bonus to have. Alright, so with that being said, thank you for watching. Check us out on Twitch, twitch.tv /carbon_nights or /carbon_nights. Like, comment, subscribe, all that normal stuff that everybody tells you to do. It really does help us out, and we love hearing from everybody on every one of our videos, not just mine. So, once again, thank you for watching. Good luck on your Transcendent Scrolls once you get them, and good luck in TOA, and hopefully this helps you guys out. And until next time, keep those shields up. Well, Knights, you made it all the way to the end. You know what that means. You've won the chance to watch another one of our videos, or perhaps even subscribe. Make sure to leave a comment, and we'll see you next time.